Okay, so this is me documenting Dom on a live stream. Whenever I was traveling away from my hometown a few minutes ago, they had a few individuals that was sitting there in the parking lot. Whenever I passed a Walmart, they had this car that was sitting there that was parked illegally, by the way, sitting all over the yellow lines. And the minute that car seen me, it took off and left. And a little ways up the road, they had a cop that was sitting there at the bank. And not long after he seen my car on the highway, he slowly proceeded to take off and leave. This right here is all connected to Fourth Amendment violation of unreasonable searches upon my person. And this is being done from multiple police forces that the FBI and the DOJ needs to investigate this immediately to stop it. I've put in numerous amount of complaints already in regards to this activity being done in my hometown where I'm originally from. But yet this is being carried out with multiple individuals from different police forces. So I will let it be known. I have dash cam evidence of it too, on my dash camera. You can see them whenever they leave, whenever they sitting there too. You can see that. This has nothing to do with my divination cards or my tower cards. I know what these individuals are doing. I know exactly who's connected to them too, who's doing that. There's an individual giving a corrupt unlawful orders for these individuals to relentlessly impede upon my right to travel freely. So I will let it be known. I'm sitting out here in nature right now. These cops will not leave me alone, bro. They will not leave me alone. And I will let it be known to the FBI and the DOJ this is being done with multiple police forces to being done to me. If you want evidence, I got it on my dash camera. Just like the other night when that fucking cop was following me and turned his headlights off, that was way outside the city limits jurisdictions. Exactly an hour away from where I'm at. That's how far away I was. Or it could have been a little less than an hour I was away from. I want to say an estimate about 40 to 50 minutes away from where I originally reside in that. I wasn't in my hometown at that time. That y'all seen that video where the cops had cut his lights off, his headlights off. I wasn't in my town's jurisdiction. I got it on GPS too, on my dash camera. That cop sat there and followed me for a good 1 minute to 2 minutes straight and yet turned his headlights off. These individuals are out of control, bro, with doing this fucking intimidation and doing this weird shit to me, bro. I got it all on camera. These cops are clearly demonically possessed and are demons. That's not normal, bro. It's not normal for these individuals to be acting that way. It's not normal. And I will let the DOJ and the FBI know where the FBI already knows that. I have an upcoming court date, January 22nd of 2026. And this was already set up and premeditated before the June 2nd incident of 2025. They have multiple reports of these officers abusing my rights and doing this shit to me. Lying on me every time I travel. I report that numerous amount of times. Sitting there tailgating me. I got it all on my dash cameras. Violating the U.S. Constitution, violating my right to travel freely, relentlessly violating Title 18 U.S.C. Section 242, trying to deprivate me of my rights. that's connected directly into Title 42, USC Section 14141, even though it's been recodified of pattern of practice being done. And yes, the Department of Justice can indeed step in and sue these individuals for that if they really wanted to. All they have to do is identify a pattern of practice that is being done. All they got to do is go look back into my reports, how many times I had to report this activity being done to me, and I have it on camera too. And now it's being done with multiple police forces. This is out of line, bro. This is out of control. I don't know what these individuals are trying to get at with this fucking bullshit. Let me tell you something right now, bro. FBI, you're going to have to step in. DOJ, you're going to have to step in. There's multiple individuals from different forces abusing my rights. You're going to have to step in, bro. Matter of fact, you're going to see my presence at the field office shortly. I will be there. Dressed in my suit, too. You're going to find out who I am, bro. I'm going to be there in my suit. And I want a few agents to come back down here with me to confront this issue. I'm not playing with these individuals. I need your assistance with the situation immediately. They have multiple police forces that are doing this to me. I have it on camera. You need the evidence? I can produce the evidence for you, and I'll show you. I will be going there in my suit. This is ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous what's being ran where I'm at. If they need any information, because I don't really want to give my location, it's across the bridge. When you cross the water, the river, and you go to the other city limit jurisdiction, it's not that city limits jurisdiction, it's the next one over from that one. When you cross the river, though, you have to cross the bridge. It's the second city from the one when you cross the bridge, that jurisdiction that was doing that earlier. That was sitting at the bank. I'm not really going to give my location where I'm at due to privacy reasons, but all they got to do is pull up on their GPS or whatever they have, or they monitor. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You go across the bridge, they got the river, right? You go across that bridge, they got that city limits jurisdiction. You keep going, it's the second city after that one. That's the one that was doing that earlier, that I caught on my dash camera, that was sitting at that bank. It's right next to a Sonic. Right next to Sonic. They're going to have a road right there, and they're going to have a gas station, and they have a big open field, and they got the bank right there. That's where they was doing that shit at. But I know it's not all their fault, though. It's somebody that's giving unlawful orders. That's originally connected to where I reside in that, the city where I'm from. That's who's behind that. King of Pinnacle Diverse. That's who I keep pulling through my tower cards. But with this right now, I don't even need my cards. And that's clearly an extortionist. This is all I could do is get on here and let them know that, hey, and update them with the information as I say, hey, This is what's being done to me. I'm out here in nature, sitting in the open field, trying to get me a peace of mind, bro. And these individuals won't leave me alone. I wasn't even expecting that cop to be sitting over there by the bank, though. That's the thing. But sure enough, I call on my dash cam. As soon as he proceeded to see my car on the highway, that's whenever he slowly took off and left. That's how I know he was sitting there conducting a search on me. It's unreasonable searches. Fourth Amendment violation. I do not consent to that. I object that under Title 42, USC Section 140, 141, tied directly into Title 18, USC Section 242. I do not consent to that. I will object it under those titles and sections. And if you need the evidence, I clearly have enough evidence on my dash camera to show you what was being done. Can't deny camera footage of it, bro. Especially the other night whenever that cop cut his lights off for no reason. That's illegal, bro, to cut your lights off like that while you're traveling at 50 miles per hour. It's a 55 miles per hour speed zone. And for that cop to cut his lights off like that, bro, that's dangerous. Dangerous. And once again, that was outside the city limits jurisdiction where I originally reside in that. So there you go. If they need the location, I could go back on my Red Tiger dash cam and sit there and get the exact location with my GPS that's on there too. To show you exactly where I was. The speed zone and everything. The details. I know the law, bro. These individuals ain't gonna keep on doing this shady shit to me. No, they're not. No, they're not. They have no clue about what federal law is, apparently. But I do. Because this is the only thing that can protect me from this continuously being done to me, because it's in violation of my U.S. federal protected rights what these officers are doing to me, bro. From multiple police forces that's outside of the original city limits where I reside in that, but yet it's being done within different city limit jurisdictions from multiple police forces. They cannot be doing that shit to me. I'll call all of them out me. I ain't scared of them. You know what the fuck they think they doing, bro, but they ain't gonna be sitting there intimidating me or threatening my freedom. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're not gonna be sitting there conducting unlawful searches up on my person, bro. With color law violations being committed by an extortionist and sitting there giving corrupt unlawful orders. Oh, well, you gotta watch this, man. No, you're not gonna watch me. No, you're not. I'm gonna investigate you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna interrogate you, I'm gonna report you to the FBI, I'm gonna report you to the DOJ because of the titles and sections that you're violating, buddy. You're not above the law. You're not gonna sit there and disrespect my rights like that. No, you're not. You think that you're a big man, but you're really not. You don't know how much power I hold with my mind up here, the knowledge that I know. I can have all these badges stripped from you, bro, along with your police cruisers, too. Keep messing with me. Keep messing with me. I have the DOJ and FBI raid multiple police departments. Keep messing with me. Keep messing with me. I'm going to show you what I'm about, bro. You ain't going to threaten my fucking freedom. You're not going to sit there and try to bully and intimidate or harass me or impede on my rights to travel freely. You're not going to do it, buddy. You're not going to do it. These individuals been messing with me, bro, for a long time. A long time. I'm also getting in the year of 2023. The feds could have been blending in with some of these individuals that could have conducted a covert surveillance of an investigation. And they caught bits and pieces of, as I say that, hey, he's not doing anything on his device. And they may have that collected to prove that I'm not behind sending any messages. They could have caught that several times. But they had to be covert about it. They could have been some of these ones that could have been sitting in a parking lot just to be sitting there. Whenever I had to report that repetitively, they could have conducted a ghost operation of an investigation just to collect a bit of evidence. See, I don't mind that though. These people that always get scared, oh, the feds are watching. You need them to watch. You need them to investigate. That's their job. To see both sides of what's going on. They need both sides of a situation. To the ones that's all scared, it's because you got something to hide. You in fear for a reason. Why are you scared of them watching? When I hear that, it's like, good. They need to watch. They need to observe and document down and collect information on what's being done to people. I had an intuitive download that some of them already knows, and I'm not behind sending any messages to nobody. Every time I'm traveling, like whenever I go pull up to the store to go get my groceries, a few of them has witnessed that themselves. I don't know if I'm getting this energy like there may be a lack of collaboration to where they couldn't bring a raid in. But there's some of them in there that knows that I'm not behind none of that. And this could be physically proven by when somebody's sending messages, they're gonna have evidence to prove that I didn't have a device in my hand or sending anything. My dash camera could prove that too because I got a front camera that's facing me at all times. That can see that my hands are not on a device or none of that. And somebody keeps manipulating something every time I travel. There's some of them that do know what I'm going through. They do know that. They may kind of be skeptical on my psychic ability side, but when it comes to the physical proof of the evidence and how I'm able to identify these violations, they know I'm highly intelligent when it comes out, and I know my shit when it comes to federal law. There's some of them that may be skeptical on my psychic side, though, but I'm fine with that. People have the right to their beliefs. Now, when it comes to my federal law knowledge, they know I know my stuff when it comes to that. I'm a great analyzer. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind, bro. I'm not comfortable at my hometown anymore. And as I was traveling to come back over here to meditate, there you go. If that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't even got on the live stream. I would have just sit out here and meditated because it's quiet out here. Actually, I'm not being stalked. I'm actually the one that's conducting interrogation and having these individuals investigated for what they're doing. I'm not no victim of that. These individuals got the wrong guy, bro. I promise you. They got the wrong guy. There's other people out there that want to act like they're helpless to a situation or present this image or present this energy as if they're helpless to a situation. You got to keep fighting. You got to know your stuff. You got to know your knowledge, your wisdom. This is a cult that's doing it. It's a cult. It's a local cult that's doing that. And it's spread it out between different city limits jurisdictions. It's cult members. It's cult practices to attempt to scapegoat me with falsified information, to try to sacrifice my freedom in the court of law. January 22nd of 2026. It's exactly what's being done. I know what these individuals are doing, bro. I'm on to them. I know exactly what they're doing, what kind of bullshit illegal activities they're running. Because it's not an operation. It's not an investigation either. It's not a legitimate investigation. It's illegal activity that's obstructing and violating my Fourth Amendment with unreasonable searches. I'm chill. I'm chilled right now. I'm out in the open field. It's just what these individuals are doing, bro. It's out of line. It's out of line. And these individuals where I'm at, bro, are clearly demonically possessed. They're not human. When you have multiple forces doing this shit, bro, there's a problem. There's a problem. It's an infestation of corruption down south of Louisiana. I'm gonna let the feds know if they're from a different state that may come across my channel. This is happening down south of Louisiana, FBI. This is where it's at. I know y'all presence may not be seen over here that much, which they have a few FBI raids that took place. I've been seeing it on my YouTube recommended videos. Maybe that could be a sign from them as I say, hey, they keep it up, they keep doing that. Next one's rated where I'm at. They keep messing with my rights like that. Because I know some of these situations take time. You can't just jump on something just because, the corruption is going on. They have to complete certain things and go through certain procedures in order for something to go through successfully. Therefore, would be a sworn affidavit of enough probable cause signed off by a federal judge. That way the raid agents could come in with a search warrant. That's how it works. And sometimes that takes a long time. I'm aware of that. But how extreme this corruption is, it needs immediate sworn affidavit of enough probable cause. Like to get enough evidence in a short period of time in order to initiate and conduct a raid. At least a search. Like nobody has to go to jail right then and there or to prison right then and there. But all it would need is just a raid, a search. That's what the situation desperately needs, a search. A federal search warrant signed off. All right, it's too cold out here, y'all. And that wind's blowing like, I know y'all probably can't see me. But yeah, just like I said, stuff like that takes time. But all they have to do is collect a good amount of evidence in a short period of time in order to get in a sworn affidavit to verify a probable cause. That way they can rush in as I say, hey, at least it's a search. Ain't nobody got to go to prison right then and there. But a search would help dismantle this corruption. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. I know that for a fact. Like I said, y'all, I'm pretty much experienced when it comes to that side. Hold on. See, these locals where I'm at are not used to people like that. They don't know nothing about federal law. They don't know nothing about how certain operations could take place either. They're not used to that. Just because they ain't seen them blue jackets before confront them, don't mean that it can't happen. Because it can. Let them keep it up. I'm going to keep on reporting. I'm going to keep on speaking out about what's being done to me. But there's other people that's having their rights violated too. It's not just me out here. But I'm one of the ones that stand out that know much more about the law than the average person would where I'm at. So therefore, that's another reason why people may not be speaking out, because they may believe that this activity is okay for them to be done that way, but it's not. That's brainwashing. It's not okay for them to be done that way. No, they don't deserve that. You have a right as a U.S. citizen where I'm at, in order to be freed from corruption locally. You have that right as a U.S. citizen. You have that right. You do indeed have that right. It's like these individuals don't know when to leave me alone, bro. But yeah, just like I said, I'm pretty much advanced and experienced when it comes to federal law knowledge of titles and sections that can counter these ulterior motives and disrupt these plots of these organizations. What they keep on doing. Because that's all it is. But yeah, just like I said before, this has been reported numerous of times, along with documentation of camera evidence. I didn't submit my camera evidence to them. I just documented it down and contacted them by phone. As I say, hey, look, this is the time that this is happening. I got this on camera. I thought I'd let y'all know. And keep going about my day. I would get out there in nature and talk down a live stream, but it's too cold out there right now and the wind's blowing like crazy. But no, just like what I said a few minutes ago, like, this is all being done to violate the U.S. Constitution, my civil rights, my U.S. federal protected rights, violating the Title 18 U.S.C. Section 242, deprivating me of my rights. That's connected directly into, from the color law violations, that's connected directly into the Title 42 U.S.C. Section 140 and 141. Even though that title and section has been recodified. You can still type it up in Google and it'll show it what it means. It's pattern and practice of misconduct. And it's not fixated or focused on an isolated situation when it comes to that, which therefore, once again, is going to be able to prove it. Because when you have an extortionist that's doing this shit to me, they're threatening people with unlawful orders. So other people are being threatened as a victim in order to commit this type of crime upon me in order to violate my Fourth Amendment, which is unreasonable searches being conducted upon me. Once again, through the coercion of fraud. What you think it means when somebody sits there and lies on you for no reason? To commit fabrication. Fabrication is directly connected into color law violation. That right there would be on the official's behalf. But it's originally coming from an extortionist that are threatening them to do that to me. It's an extortionist. That's what an extortionist does. It's constant threats and harassment. There we go. I'm doing everything I can to dismantle the situation. Because I do, in fact, have court this upcoming week on Thursday, January 22nd of 2026. This week. This upcoming week. Which I shouldn't even be going there to start with. The prosecutor should have dropped this charge off me of disturbing the peace because I was in violation of the U.S. Constitution. Free speech protected. First Amendment protected of free speech. By once again not provoking a fight, self-defense of an attacker following me out the building. When I told him the first time I didn't want to hear about somebody I don't have any contact with. And it was also ruled out under the U.S. Supreme Court rulings that the government cannot hold any type of profane or offensive language against you as a crime, as disturbing the peace, as long as you're not provoking a fight. You can say every cuss word in the book. Even though it may appear to be offensive, it don't matter. It don't matter. You cannot be charged for anything. They cannot put a charge on you for that. That also means domestic, what they call that? Disorderly conduct and disturbing the peace. They can't do that to you. Because offensive and profane language has been under the U.S. Supreme Court rulings when it comes to a case that they had. They couldn't charge a person with nothing. And they also had somebody inside of a courtroom that had profane language on their shirt. Court couldn't do nothing about it. It's protected free speech. It's protected free speech. If a man can wear cuss words on his shirt while in the courtroom and not be charged with anything or not be held in contempt of court, then how can they sit there and put profane or offensive language to try to say that, hey, you're disturbing the peace? No, I'm not. Objection. The man followed me out the business. A manager of the building followed me out the business when I refused to talk to him in regards to X I don't have any contact with. I told the man specifically, look, I'm not here for this individual. I'm here to get my food and to go about my way. And he kept on talking and kept on talking and kept on talking. That's when I walked out the building and he followed me out the building and threatened my freedom with an arrest and a trespass. That's when I turned around and said, dude, fuck off and leave me alone. How is that disturbing the peace? By offensive, profane language. It's not. There was a threat in my surroundings. The man's threatening my freedom. I don't know how he's going to proceed with having me arrested. That's putting restraints on my person, bro. How do I know how they're going to arrest? How do I know how the arrest going to take place when I'm being threatened with that? These people are losers and have lost. And they need to stop, bro. They need to drop this off of me and leave me alone. The prosecutor thinks he's got something with a restraining order. No, he does not. Objection. The restraining order was put on me after the fact that I got arrested, June 2nd. That restraining order cannot be used against me. And another thing, there's no contact between me and that individual. Bro, these individuals are wasting their money, their resources, and wasting their time with a mistrial. I want to say that's how you say that. And mind you, when I got arrested June 2nd, I was on the phone with a federal agent asking them for help. Because I knew what was about to take place, and I told them everything. I said, look, y'all received numerous amount of reports on these individuals violating my rights. And I told them everything of what happened whenever I was at the store. I explained in the details to them. This happened June 2nd, 9 a.m. of 2025. That's when that happened. But once again, this was premeditated upon me. It was a setup that took place, once again, by an extortionist that don't want to leave my rights alone, bro. Don't want to leave my freedom alone. And this coward keeps on continuously violating my rights before this upcoming court date. Keeps on repetitively violating my fucking rights and keeps doing things to me over and over and over and over and over and over. And don't want to back off of me. That's what I told y'all a few minutes ago. Having multiple other police forces join in on this harassment and join in on this unreasonable searches being conducted upon my person. They're not supposed to be searching my person or my property. My car is my property. I have the right to not be searched unlawfully. There's no crime being committed. There's no law being violated. I have the right to travel freely. Even though there may be an upcoming court date, it don't matter. They don't have the right to keep on continuously doing this shit to me. I will object these corrupt pattern and practices under the Title 42 USC Section 14141. I don't remember the recodified title and section of that right off the back of my hand, but I'm going to go with that because it's going to better to prove pattern and practice. You just have to fight the situation with higher power knowledge. You have to read about your rights and study law. I'm going to tell you right now, y'all. If I was to be anywhere else and this was to be being done, this wouldn't continue upon me. No, it wouldn't. Because where I'm at, these individuals are witches and warlocks. This is a cult that's doing this to me. That's in disguise as law enforcement. They're cult members. Because of the activities and practices that are being done while on duty that's not in alignment with state law enforcement. If I was to be somewhere else out of state, and if I was to call these violations out under these titles and sections, I wouldn't hear nothing from no police officer ever again. I'm going to tell you why. Because that right there, they would know that, hey, this guy is speaking some truth. That scared the hell out of them. And I'm going to tell you right now, whenever I was out of state, whenever I was in Texas, that's why the police didn't bother me over there either. They didn't get bothered not one time over there. Because I'm going to tell you why. It was a real police force. It wasn't cult members that was on the force. These individuals where I'm at, bro, are clearly possessed, demonic, and keeps on doing the same repetitive thing that is out of control. No, this has nothing to do with military projects. Objection. This is cult practices. Cult practices. It's what you call satanic sacrifice. That's what it is. Satanic sacrificing. Trying to offer you up with these individuals the way that they believe. Trying to offer you up to appease a God or to please a God or to bring great fortune to some type of cultural belief. That's what it is. And these individuals are not going to be offering me up or my soul to anybody or thinking that they could use their authority with trying to do this to me, because that's the exact opposite of state law enforcement. This is not under law what these individuals are doing to me, bro. Because everything that is being done to me is not even of state law. What they're doing, what the activities that they're committing while on duty is not in alignment with state law enforcement. These individuals will not scapegoat me or sacrifice me in any way. I promise you that. I will bring down the wrath of God upon these individuals. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ on the Psalm 91. Every bit of those delusions of what they're existing in will be dissolved to ashes in Jesus' mighty name. It's also biblical when it comes to the information of treason, breach of trust, violating the trust, breach of trust, trying to overthrow things that they have no business overthrowing, because the government wasn't put here to harm me. They was put here to protect me. Why you think they have the U.S. Constitution, your amendments? Why you think you have your federal protected rights? What you think federal is? Federal is. Exactly. They protect you from local government corruption. They protect you from that. They're supposed to protect you from treason too. These people that think that they could get in these positions and overthrow them with doing the exact opposite of the government, that's not government. That's what I'm trying to get the feds to understand, that this is not government, what they're doing. Because the government wouldn't be operating like that. I know what government is. I know a lot about it. I'm having to use government knowledge to diffuse and to neutralize this situation. Do these individuals not see that? I have to use powerful government knowledge, not just wisdom, but knowledge, information, to diffuse and neutralize these threats to my freedom. No, I ain't right. Get the fuck out my live stream. I ain't wrong. I'm 500,000% right on what I'm saying. You're going to come up on here and try to, oh, you're right. Get the fuck out of here. I'm right 500,000%. I don't argue with internet people. When I'm stating some factual knowledge, some factual information, people can either listen or they get the hell up off my live stream and be telling me shit. I'm right about my knowledge. I'm right about my information. Those titles and sections of what I just got through explaining are government information, government knowledge. There's nothing wrong about what I'm saying. Trust that. What you think federal law is? Government, right? Exactly. I don't know everything, but when it comes to me speaking some information, I'm speaking from wisdom and experience. I will never speak out of ignorance, because ignorance is things that you don't know about until you learn. And the things that I've learned from are experience. Somebody projecting this wrong energy up on me. Nah, you're wrong for even being on this chat thing and trying to accuse me of being wrong. Making yourself look like a goof, bro. I'm right. I don't argue with internet trolls. Don't argue with them. I'm only speaking on things from experience. I don't know everything about the law, like literally everything out there. No. I just know things from my experience. I'm not an arrogant person. I'm just having to use certain level, high level wisdom and knowledge to dismantle this type of corruption. But I need the assistance of individuals in authority, higher powered authority, in order to do that. It's right there in their titles and sections. And trust me, I've done analyze my camera evidence, dash cam evidence, and link the titles and sections together as I say, okay, well, this is how this title and section is being violated. Like I said, I'm an analyzer, an intuitive analyzer. I use logic and intuition and combine it both together, and therefore I get the answer I'm looking for. For sure, the pattern of practice has been violated numerous amount of times, connected directly into the Title 18 USC Section 242, and all that's being done within the pattern of practice of color law violations. That's how that's being done. Once again, that's going to be connected directly to the definition. What does color law violation means? It means deprivating somebody of their rights under Title 18 USC Section 242. Therefore, it's going to be able to prove they're failing to keep me from harm, when it's their job to uphold the U.S. Constitution and protect me of my amendments and my civil rights, and they're failing to do so. And federal law protects me from that being done to me. That's my federal protected rights. So that right there gives the jurisdictional legal grounds for federal law to step in to protect me. Excuse the hiccup, y'all. It's just a lot of information I have to get off my chest. I'd much rather do it that way than sit there and get aggravated and mad. Because that's releasing a lot of tension right now off of my heart chakra. All right, y'all, I'm back. Y'all. Had to fix the tripod. Hey, can y'all hear me good on the live stream or no? This damn thing. I had to fix my tripod on the where the phone's sitting. That was me. If the video was buffering, that was me. I clicked off the live stream to fix this tripod thing, whatever it's sitting on, because it kept on falling over like that. But anyways, so the audio is good. I don't know if that messes with the audio whenever that happens. When you click off the live stream and you click back on it, I don't know if that messes with the audio or it cuts out the audio. I know it buffers though. Like when it buffers like that, that's me. I click off the live stream. You pause the live stream. It's kind of like a pausing option it has. And whenever you're ready, you just click back on YouTube. But yeah, just like I said before, I just thought I'd get on here and document it down. For my genuine supporters that care about me. Also for federal law out there, if they got some federal law officials that care about my well-being, that care about my rights, for them to hear what's going on, for them to see. Even though I don't have any evidence right now produced on my channel when it comes to what I just went through a few minutes ago, I have it on my dash cam, evidence on my dash camera. Do these individuals not see that this is causing a very intense death energy up on me, bro? A death energy up on me? I can feel it within my soul, bro. These people are dark, demonic, possessed, and are satanic. Yes, the DOJ was able to dismantle a satanic cult 2 hours away from where I'm at in Louisiana before. Yes, it did happen. Yes, it did. It was found to be abusing a lot of individuals, abusing animals, abusing children. The DOJ has gotten involved with several cases like that before. And these individuals where I'm at, brother, they're going to have to get involved to do the same thing to dismantle it, because these individuals are out of line. They're not the real law. They're not enforcing a real law like supposed to be enforced of state law enforcement. This is ridiculous. Then got the nerve to be sitting there collaborating with other city officials from different city limits, jurisdiction, and all to sit there and impeding on my rights to travel freely, and all to violate my Fourth Amendment with unreasonable searches. This is out of line, bro. This is out of control. I can feel something being done to me right now in my stomach area. Like not whenever they do something with a voodoo doll, it's a heaviness in my stomach area, my intuition. If this continues, I will disappear. I promise you I will. I will disappear. If this continues another day without federal law intervention to protect me, I will disappear, bro. I could care less about this upcoming court date. My safety and my freedom matters. My safety and my freedom matters. You understand me, FBI? My freedom and my safety matters. I will not be illegally kidnapped. I will not be illegally detained in my freedom. I will not illegally be held accountable for the things that they're doing with these type of violations of color of law. I will not be held accountable for anything of what they keep doing to me. Y'all need to get down here, bro, and help me with this situation. If this continues another day, I will be disappearing. Nobody will hear from me. I won't be on YouTube. I will be disappeared. I will be gone. I'm not here to be fucked with every day, all day, every day, all day, every day, all day, every day. Do you understand that? I'm not here for that. I'm here to serve a purpose as a spiritual leader. I'm not here to be done this way by these corrupt cops. You understand me? I'm not here for that. I pulled cards on what the FBI, how the FBI seen that cop turn his headlights off whenever he was following me. And I pulled a lot of negative cards, how they seen them Six of Wands reverse, Page of Swords reverse, King of Wands reverse. They see these individuals as tyrants with the moon reverse. There ain't no illusion. Yep. Seeing a lot of tyrant energy came through my cards, how they seen them. Seen them as stalkers too, slanders, stalkers. But that's how they perceive them with the Page of Swords reverse. Heavy on a tyrant energy. And this is all being done to me before my upcoming court date, January 22nd of 2026, this upcoming week. This keeps being done to me over and 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 over. These individuals will not leave me alone. And the only ones that can stop them and dismantle them are the DOJ and the FBI, for sure. They're going to have to get a search in on these individuals. To get a sworn-in affidavit of enough probable cause to conduct a search, it needs to happen. It needs to happen because these individuals are not wanting to leave me alone or to stop doing what they're doing with these illegal activities. It's extortion. They're trying to get into sacrifice and it ain't gonna work, bro. Sacrificing my freedom to have me harmed. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. And these same cowards like to sit there and watch my YouTube channel and sit there and project certain things upon me and attack me on my live streams. That's another thing. I've also reported that to the FBI too and identified exactly who's behind doing that to my channel. Who's behind them fake accounts of malware, the bot accounts. I reported that to them too as I say, hey, this the person behind that. I would just put it to them like this. You ain't gonna sit there and exploit me or traffic me or do anything to harm my rights and my freedom. No, you're not. This coward that's behind doing that to me, bro, will be ripped out this institution. Watch. 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 It's clearly being seen that this guy does not want to leave me alone, leave my rights alone, and keeps enforcing, giving unlawful orders to commit fraud, extortion, and to threaten my freedom. It happened to me whenever I was at the bell tower. Whenever I was over there, I felt something going on. I didn't mention that on my live stream. I kind of ignored that feeling. But that happened whenever I was at the bell tower earlier. And what do you know? Whenever I left, they had a cop that was sitting right there. Yep. I pulled cards on it too, as to say what was being done. I was being lied on. Ace of Swords reverse. I was being lied on. And the King of Pentacles come up in reverse with the Six of Pentacles reverse. That's a corrupt extortionist that's behind that. Scamming too with the Six of Pentacles reverse. Scamming. I was being lied on earlier. Whenever I was at the bell tower, I was on that live stream. I was being lied on. It's like when I speak up about it, these individuals flee. They get scared, they leave. I'm going to tell you why they get scared and leave, because they know that this is against my rights. I'm going to say it one last time to these corrupt individuals that think that they're powerful in this institution because they're not identified as a cop anymore. I'm going to tell these cult members one last time that's in this institution of so-called law enforcement, you better back off of me. You leave my Fourth Amendment alone. I do not consent to any unreasonable searches being conducted upon me, my person, or my property. I do not consent to Title 18 USC Section 242 being deprivated relentlessly. I do not consent to these pattern and practices of Title 42 USC Section 14141 being violated upon my person, within connected directly in the color of law violation. I do not consent to unlawful, unreasonable searches upon me, my person, or my property. I do not consent to no protection. Therefore, it means color law violation. I do not consent to failure to keep me from harm. I do not consent to that. I deserve to be protected and served as a citizen. I already know these individuals are not going to do their job the right way because they're not fit to enforce state law. They're not the proper fit for it. They're not. They do shit how they want to do it in a cult-like manner, and it's going to be stopped. When I go back to my home, you're going to leave me alone. And I mean it, bro. If this activity keeps on going on another day, I will disappear. I will not be seen ever again. Ever again. I will be fine where I'll be, but I'll just disappear. I'm not going to be seen ever again. It's to protect my fucking freedom, brother. Protect my rights. I will be perfectly fine where I'll go. But I'm not going to be seen again. That's a federal law. Don't step in and intervene and to protect me. I have no other choice but to disappear. These individuals are not going to sit there, bro, and keep on trying to violate and obstruct my Fourth Amendment and attempt to illegally detain me in my freedom or to try to attempt to kidnap me in any kind of way. This is bullshit. It will be stopped. And I'm going to make it to where they can't do that shit to me. I'm nowhere to be found. You ain't going to be seeing me. You're not going to see me. You're not going to find me. Ain't none of that's going to happen. You're going to leave me the fuck alone, bro. You're going to leave me alone. You know what I'm getting the vibes of at me announcing that way? This right here is an extreme violation of where the U.S. Marshals can offer me protection and to switch my identity. There's a reason why I'm talking that way, y'all, but it's being spoken because of these individuals not wanting to leave me alone or back off of me. Relentlessly wrecking my fucking name and wrecking my character. To try to have me accused of something that I'm not, when these individuals have been committing numerous amount of violations upon my person in order to do that to me. This is enough to have my identity switch because of how extreme this really is. I don't know if the U.S. Marshals are paying attention to that. Somebody need to get all over these individuals where I'm at, brother. At down south of Louisiana, somebody need to get all over these individuals and intervene quick. That's how serious the situation is. These individuals will not leave me alone. Will not leave me alone. Ain't nobody doing their fucking job right, the sheriff's office or the police department. I need help of federal authority figures to come down here. It's going to have to take for their intervention, bro, because they're not going to do anything. They're not. They're not. It's been confirmed. I'm getting an intuitive feeling these individuals will be charged with attempted kidnapping upon my person. I'm getting that very heavily. I don't know when the charge is going to be thrown on them, but I'm getting that they could eventually be charged with attempted kidnapping upon my person, because this is illegal and unlawful detainment upon my freedom. Every time that they try to sit there and try to threaten my freedom like that, with committing these color law violations, that right there is threatening my freedom when I'm not committing any crime. And it's being done by an extortionist. These individuals could be getting charged with attempted kidnapping upon my person, bro. Anybody that's connected to it, that's doing that to me. There's a reason why I'm getting that feeling. Technically, it is that too, because you're not committing any crime. You're not violating any law. And they're being seen to be doing this deliberately to you in order to obstruct your right to travel freely, in order to try to get you accused of shit that you're not doing. That right there is going to be proven the color law violation of failure to keep you from harm. And if they so much put any restraints on me, that right there is going to be assault and battery on their behalf. And by taking me somewhere where I clearly do not consent to going, that's kidnapping. So right now, this is attempted kidnapping, because it's not happening yet, but this is what they're trying to do in order for it to get through to where that can happen. Okay, so apparently these individuals are being seen as kidnappers. These officials that are engaging in those practices and pattern are being seen as kidnappers. And I'm right about how what is being done to me is not a lawful order upon me. It's unlawful orders. I'm getting intuitively this extortionist will be jerked out. This institution will be ran out of there. I may not get on here on a live stream every day, but this is being done to me every day I travel, y'all. Every day I go to the store. It don't matter if I go to the store or go to sit out in nature somewheres where I reside in that. This is being done to me every day. Something illegal is being done to me behind my back when it comes to these individuals every time I travel to try to get me in trouble. If the FBI needs any dash cam footage, as I say, hey, look, to review that, as I say that, hey, he's not on the phone or none of that, they can obtain all of that off my dash camera footage and match it up with the times that things are being done to me over a device to prove that I'm not doing nothing shady. But like I said back there, whenever I was in that field meditating earlier, there's some of them that may already have a bit of bits and pieces of evidence to prove that I went behind a device a long time ago at 2023 or 2024 when messages was being sent to try to get me in trouble back then, to relentlessly threaten my freedom back then. They could have had a few of them that may have been in disguise that could have documented that down and collected it as evidence, covert evidence. I ain't trying to blow their cover or none of that, but I'm just saying, people need to know about what I'm going through, bro, because this right here is attempted kidnapping upon my freedom. And also directly connected into malicious prosecution, attempted malicious prosecution. That's all connected to the Title 18 USC Section 242, deprivating my right to color law violation of fabrication. and failing to keep me from harm. I'll read y'all comments in a minute. I will have my freedom back. I will have my freedom back all the way. I will have my freedom back. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I will have my freedom back. The Lord will dissolve the chains of oppression. Physical too. Through physical people intervening as to remove these individuals out of my way, out of my energy. As I say, this man is free to go. You understand me? He's free to go. He's not committing no crime. You're guilty of obstructing his justice. You're guilty of assaulting his federal justice. You're guilty of impeding on his right to travel freely. And you're also guilty of an unfair trial with committing color law violations and doing hateful things to him before his upcoming court date, which therefore is going to be able to prove it's an unfair trial to him. That's also ruled under the U.S. Supreme Court ruling. That right there would be a higher up court federal judge. That means that's my federal protected rights being violated. And U.S. Supreme Court rulings can protect me from unfair rulings of trial. Exactly. Better leave me alone, bro. A lot of people that go through this activity don't know how to properly identify it. That's why they don't get helped out. I know I'm going to be helped out. I speak it in the name of Jesus Christ. I know I'm going to be helped out. Because God's going to intervene and come through other people and authority and ought to use their vessels as angelic protection upon me, because it's in the Bible. It's biblical. It's in the Bible. Government is supposed to protect me. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The government is there to protect me from these violations and obstruction of my justice. The government is there to protect me. They don't have to like me. They don't have to be in a position to like me. They're not there to like or dislike me. They're there to uphold the U.S. Constitution. They're up there to uphold my, amendments and my federal protected rights, my civil rights. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, you will protect me, bro. You will protect me. I rebuke this corruption up off me, and I command it to be dissolved by Psalm 91. Because you're not going to sit up there and put me up there as a satanic sacrifice. You're not going to do that to me, bro. No, you're not. You're not going to disrespect my spirit like that. You're not going to sacrifice my spirit and harm my spirit like that. I rebuke your corruption under Psalm 91. Because it's biblical. Treason is illegal. It's illegal. You will not violate breach of trust. You will not do that to me. You will not. I wish I could hold the Bible to some of these individuals' foreheads, bro, with a crucifix in my hand like that to fry these demons out of them. Because that's exactly what the power I have. to fry these demons out of these individuals. You're not going to abuse your authority over me, because God has authority over me and has authority over corruption. You will obey the Most High of biblical, when it comes to biblical information. You will obey that and respect that about me. When it comes to this, I disregard divination, tarot, all of that, even my psychic side. When it comes to the Most High, Jesus Christ, he put the government here to protect you, not to harm you. Why you think they have the law? What you think the law is supposed to be there for? Serving and protecting, right? They're supposed to be doing a simulation of God's protection down here. Handcuffs are not meant to torture. Police cruisers are not meant to torture and harass or threaten people's freedom. About to get, hold on, y'all. They got one of them sitting over here. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. See how they sitting off like that? See how they sitting at the bank? And you see how there's nobody else on this road, right? That's another one right there. Violate my rights. I'm going to call you out, dude. Violate my rights. I do not consent to any unreasonable searches upon me, my property, and my person. You seen that? I can feel it in my stomach area. This is in another city limits jurisdiction where I'm at. This is not my hometown. This is me going back home, crossing a bridge. They're just proving my point that I'm right about that there's multiple police forces that are doing this to me. I'm sensing a Fed's energy behind the scenes as I say, wow. Wow, that's crazy. They just witnessed that cop sitting right there. There's a few of them that knows that I'm an innocent man. They're looking out for my well-being and have my best interests at heart. It may not be all of them. They may not fully be able to collaborate together to get something to go through to where they could come down here. But there's some of them in there that thinks that I'm a cool dude. And they know I've gotten upset over the situation several times. And they hate to see me being done this way. There's only so much they could do to, like, to watch out for me when it comes to that, but at the same time, they're not against me. Those are the ones that's not against me, that disagree with this being done to me, and they do agree that it is a violation of my rights, and they're violating federal law. What y'all just seen back there, what I just got on camera, that was another city limits jurisdiction that was doing that. And that's exactly how that other cop was sitting at that other bank within the other city limits jurisdiction. Ridiculous, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull some cards and see what these individuals doing too. All right, I can read y'all comments now. I'm getting heavy raid energy. I'm about to go get my tower cards to see if the higher ups are paying attention. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, I'm back, y'all. I had to go get my tower card so I could do a reading to see if the higher ups are paying attention to that. They're more than likely are covertly. It's like, damn, they're actually proving this guy right. Got another one sitting by the bank, huh? Damn, bro. By any chance is there a couple of higher up authority figures in the FBI paying attention and seeing what's going on in my surroundings over here? It's a serious problem. See what my cards say. Judgment reverse, that's false allegations. I am being followed. These people are being seen and not want to leave me alone. Seven of Wands. Queen of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so this is an earth sign female that they may be watching. Somebody that's connected to this court case that's had me falsely accused. They know exactly who's behind this. This is a trafficker. This is a trafficker and exploiter, however you say the exploitation trafficker. Star reverse. Ten of Swords. The Hermit, yeah, they are watching. Yeah, they are. This is corrupt what these officers are doing to me. This is corrupt what these individuals are doing to me on a legal level. Told you. Ten of Wands. The ending card reverse. They're saying that they're engaging in practices that's not in alignment with the law. With a Queen of Pentacles reverse that is meant to betray me. A lot of betrayal here. And they're seeing these individuals work with a Queen of Pentacles reverse. The same one that could be having something to do with this upcoming court date, huh? Couldn't be them, huh? They're seeing what these individuals are doing in the law, bro, are corrupt. That's what it looks like. I'm being falsely accused. This is a repetitive thing that keeps on being done. This is not the right job for these individuals. With the Eight of Pentacles reverse, feds also know that I'm a victim of a scam. They see that I'm being attacked. This is them watching over this group here. That's them conducting a search on this group right here. To see that I'm indeed under attack. One man under attack. That's one man having to stand up against all these officials. They're seeing officials are definitely connected to that. And this is illegal what they're doing. Three of Pentacles. They see that multiple individuals are indeed collaborating together with the Three of Pentacles. They are working together to harm me. Trafficking. This is involving an earth sign female in reverse. These individuals are out of control. Okay, so they're seeing it exactly how I'm seeing it. How I'm standing up and fighting these individuals off. These individuals are out of control with this trafficking and exploitation with an earth sign female. They are indeed being seen to not want to leave me alone and walk away. Page of Cups reverse. And they're also manipulating things about children too with the Page of Cups reverse. Right, what these individuals are doing, bro, are extremely criminal. That could be getting them in trouble with the Ten of Swords. Yep. They do see what's being done to me. They do see it. And this is against the law what these individuals are doing too. So how do they see this being done to me? So how does the Fed see this being done to me right now currently? What are their perception? They definitely see a bunch of officials attacking me with the Five of Wands. Justice reverse. Connected to an earth sign female. How are they seeing this though? What are their perception of this activity? Definitely not of the law with the justice reverse. It's against the law what these officers are doing, bro. Telling you. How do they see this though? What are their perception of me being done this way? Queen of Pentacles reverse again. This is illegal. This is illegal. They got proof to prove it too. The Devil reverse. They perceive these individuals trying to control shit with an earth sign female. And they're not going to be able to control it. Judgment reverse. They see this as false allegations. This right here is not right. They see me as to be falsely accused. This is not, oh, so that could be connected to orders. That's an unlawful order. That would be unfair blame, but that could also represent unlawful orders. Because I'm not supposed to be falsely accused. And this is the orders that are being given to these officers in order for this to be done to me. Aha. Aha. And this is how they're trying to control shit, but they're not. They're not going to be able to control it. And it looked like to me they got evidence on a Capricorn that's behind this. That's a King of Pentacles reverse, huh? Knight of Pentacles reverse. They perceive this as to be very cruel to me. Very cruel to this court case coming up too. Six of Pentacles. They perceive these individuals to be helping out an earth sign. That would be this Queen of Pentacles reverse, what it looks like. She's the underlying energy in reverse. Two of Wands reverse. They see it for what it is. These individuals are clearly lying on me. Seven of Wands reverse connected to a scandal. Scandalizing me with falsified information. They see this as conflict of interest with the Three of Cups. The Four of Cups. The Tower reverse. They see that these individuals do not want to change when it comes to the situation. Wheel of Fortune. Nine of Swords reverse. The Nine of Pentacles. And the Six of Cups reverse. They see these individuals not wanting to change. And this has been going on for a long time. And it's the underlying energy, how they're being seen. They're being seen as corrupt. They're also being seen as to be, once again, scapegoating. Judgment reverse. That's all about trying to put their sins or force their sins or what they're doing back off onto me. Scapegoating. What's going to happen with this situation? What's going to happen with the situation? These individuals involving or engaging in these practices with this earth sign female. Reverse. What's going to be the outcome for these individuals engaging in these unlawful practices with this earth sign? Their secrets will be coming out with the High Priestess reverse. The Three of Wands. Magician. Four of Wands. The Empress reverse. They will be exposed. There's a lot of exposure. Page of Pentacles. The Devil reverse. Ten of Wands reverse. Nine of Swords reverse. I'm also getting, these individuals could be being controlled, though, is what I'm getting. They're being controlled and forced to do that, but they're going to receive some good news that this individual just trying to carry this out, that don't want to end out a situation with the situation. It's not going to no longer be in that position to control shit. So I'm getting that these cops are being controlled with unlawful orders. But once again, this energy right here. Could be a Capricorn that's about to be removed out of their position. Judgment reverse. For falsely accusing me, having me falsely accused and unlawful orders being given. This is not good investments, bro. Or what this individual keeps on doing or keeps on making. Strength reverse. Leo and Capricorn very heavily. Ten of Swords reverse. And the Queen. I'm getting it. They're not going to be held accountable for what somebody else is doing because this is being done by force, what it looks like. So they may not take accountability or be blamed because of how much force is on this situation. But they're going to receive good news in regards to somebody that keeps on trying to force them to do this to me will be removed. That's what it looks like. That way they could continue with doing their job the right way. We're not having to participate in doing that to me. So I'm getting this. It's not really the officer's fault that's doing that. But something will be able to be proven to them as I say that, hey, I'm being falsely accused. With the judgment reverse, this is not lawful orders that's being given to them. And ought to have me falsely accused. This is something that they keep on investing their time into doing. But it's originally the person that's giving these unlawful orders for that to be done to me. That's the thing. Okay, so I'm getting that some of these officers will be set free from this oppressive energy also. And then being forced to do this shit to me. Because this is not lawful orders. Yep. And the same cards are coming out in reverse again. Judgment reverse, Devil reverse. Yeah, that cycle's going to be closing. So give me a closing message with this energy. Hold on. Give me a closing message with this energy. The Hermit, the Empress, Page of Cups, Four of Cups reverse, Lion. Okay, so some people could apologize to me about having to lie on me like that. The Tower reverse. I don't have anything to worry about. I'm protected. My mama's protecting me too. Lady, you know what I'm saying? She's protecting me. Lady. Queen of Cups. Okay, so it sounds like to me that people going to be apologizing to me for lying. Yeah, Page of Wands reverse for lying on me. They know this a lie too. Bro, I'm on a live stream. How is this lie? How am I going to be accused of doing shit whenever I'm on a live stream to where people can see? Nine of Swords. The Emperor reverse. The Six of Wands. Four of Swords reverse. The Ace of Pentacles. And the Lovers. With the Hermit. These individuals have my back. Yep. Sound like to me they could be apologizing to me for having a lie on me. But it's due to the orders that are being given to them in order for that to happen. This is unlawful. And I'm getting that these individuals can also tell me that they have been being abused and controlled. This forceful energy is not going to be in there no more with the devil reverse. They're not. They're not. This individual ain't about to be controlling shit like that. So they may not really want to do that shit to me. But it's good that I'm getting that documented down on camera as I say that, hey, they can't be doing that. And it's going to go right back to somebody else that's giving these unlawful orders. Bro, this person that's doing that shit, that's getting these individuals to do that shit to me, they're looking insane right now, bro. So how's this person being seen that are giving these unlawful orders? How they're being seen right now to be giving those orders for this to be done to me? How they being seen right now? The Hermit again. They're being seen as a Queen of Cups reverse, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, the Ace of Wands. They're being seen to be very passionate about using females and taking advantage of female officials, what it looks like, in order to use their emotional vulnerabilities to their advantage, in order to try to sit there and to benefit off of what they know that they can force them into doing. Seven of Cups reverse. They see somebody with a plan. Three of Wands. Six of Wands reverse. They see this as a loser. As a loser. That's hiding behind everybody else because they can't get the job done themselves. So they got to use other officers in order for this to happen. For this to occur. The Empress. They're being seen to be trying to protect their false image, while trying to get other people to appear as if they're toxic and abusive. That would be the cops, right? But the cops may not even be abusive. That's the thing. They may not be abusive people, but yet it's the things that they're being told to do to me, which is getting them to appear as in a reverse position. But yet the whole time this loser is hiding behind them because they're the ones that's giving the orders. Why can't they do it themselves? Confirmation. That's the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Cups. This individual's cloaking in the energy. I can feel it. They're being seen to be causing trouble. And they're also being seen as a loser too that's hiding. Six of Cups reverse. They're being seen as someone that's trying to hide with the Hermit card. They're trying to hide. And they're getting these officers to appear as if, hey, that would be defamation of character. Smear campaign. What you think lying on somebody means? Smear campaigning them. This person's being seen to be hidden, to be hiding behind these people while trying to get them to appear this way. That way they don't draw attention to themselves. But yet, where you think these orders are coming from? You think they're going to engage in this just because? They have to be given orders, right? Exactly. Who's giving these fucking orders? It's not them. They have to listen to their boss. This person's being seen to be hiding themselves with the Hermit card. They're hidden and hiding behind females and hiding behind these individuals. Because they want to be seen as a great person. Bullshit. How can they successfully hide when their energy is relentlessly coming through the orders that are being given for these officers to do this to me? So how is it going to successfully be hidden whenever they're the ones that are being given the orders from the person that's hiding? How are they going to be able to hide? When you see a cop, it's automatically linked to them. That's who they are. What I seen at that bank earlier is directly connected to the person that's giving those orders, unlawful orders. By them being seen that way, exposes this person. You're not gonna manipulate me, bro. You're not gonna manipulate this character right here. Impossible. Impossible. Look at that as I'm saying that. Messing with the Emperor's energy. Somebody ain't afraid to take charge and knows what the hell is going on. Can't manipulate me, bro. It couldn't be that these officers may be looking up to me covertly as I say, you know what, this is not lawful orders. But maybe doing that in order to get you exposed even more. That way that they don't have to deal with this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. To where they have to engage in that. Because they really don't like doing that. So this person has in their delusional mind that they're hidden. They're cloaked with the Hermit card. Hiding behind females, hiding behind other officers. With the Six of Wands reverse. To get them hated on, to get them to be looked upon as bad people. But yet, where are the orders coming from? Damn sure ain't them. Because they don't make the orders. They don't give that. They're not the ones giving these unlawful orders. They have to follow what they're being ordered to do. That's the thing. And a lot of these individuals, believe it or not, are not even following these orders because they're unlawful with the Six of Wands reverse. They much rather unfollow them orders and follow me and take in my spiritual knowledge and learn a lot of education on the law, what the laws really are, rather than follow these unlawful orders. Therefore, could be getting this individual a whole shitload of trouble. This person just ready to get out the institution, bro. They ain't ready. They ain't brave enough to admit to that. That they don't want to work there anymore. They're pretty much done with their career, bro. They're done. They're done. Because why do they keep on doing this over and over and over and over? It's obvious they don't like their job. So they're trying to get other officers to not like their job either. To make them look bad. But all it's doing is making the one that's giving these unlawful orders bad. They're not hiding. Because why you think these officers are engaging in that in the first place, huh? Somebody's got to be giving them orders. Exactly. Because they're not going to do that by themselves. It's what's being instructed for them to do, which is unlawful, corrupt instructions and orders. It's not a lawful order. It's not a lawful order. And got the nerve to have this thought, to perceive themselves as to not be exposed, but yet keep on repeating the same thing on repeat, over and over and over. And expect no exposure, like for them to not be exposed through the individuals that's doing that to me. Who's the one giving the orders? Not gonna work, brother. Devil in the judgment reverse. Not gonna work. Not going to work. Nope. It's been proven that this individual keeps on giving unlawful orders in order to have me falsely accused with the judgment reverse. That's false allegations and having unfair blame projected upon me, trying to blame me for something that I'm not doing. Therefore, once again, connected to false allegations. And that's why that controlling energy is going to be removed with the devil reverse. That way these individuals don't have to deal with this fucking stupid shit all day, every day. They could actually do their job the right way. Because I'm getting that these individuals really don't want to do that to me. But it's like they have to. But they really don't. They don't have to do shit. If it's not a lawful order, but they have the right to object that. The officers have the right to object that under titles and sections under federal law jurisdiction. They have the right to object color law violations of fabrication. Even though they may be an officer of the law, they still have rights also. They have to follow lawful orders. They have the right to not follow an unlawful order. Why? Because somebody threatening them? Okay, and? What's going to happen if they don't follow an unlawful order? What's going to happen? Someone do their job? They just going to get it right back because everything's going to come out that, hey, they had every right to not follow that order because it's unlawful. It's not in alignment with state law, bro. How is not following an unlawful order of committing color law violations while on duty, a fabrication, or accuse somebody of doing something that they're not doing, therefore it's going to better to prove failing to keep me from harm, but yet that's not their job. That's not their lawful duty. Their lawful duty is to protect and serve me from harm. Bro, this person just get put in a place left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. Wow. Wow. I'm getting several of these individuals that have been doing that to me really don't enjoy doing that. No, they don't. No, they don't. They know it's wrong. With the 6 of Wands reverse, they feel like losers for doing that to me. But they don't want to say nothing about it. That's the thing. But anyways, y'all, I thought I documented down that what was going on, what was taking place. But I'm home safe and sound. And I'll get on here and do a read possibly later on.